Putin has made another attempt now to bridge the rift that threatened just a couple of days back to tear his government in the Kremlin apart. In an address to the nation now on Monday, following that earlier appeal, he hailed the Wagner group as patriots, and that's 2 days after calling them traitors and criminals, backstabbers, treasonous. Now he has praised them for turning back from Moscow, heading to Moscow to avoid bloodshed. And he says in any case the mutiny would have been suppressed, and that the mutineers knew that. So an attempt now to come across as really strong rather than someone who was shaken, as he clearly was, suggesting that Prigozhin and company turned back not just because they were good and they wanted to avoid bloodshed, but because they knew they would face defeat. Putin did promise in a fairly short recorded speech that he will keep his word of safe passage for Wagner members who want to go to Belarus, or he said they would have the choice to sign new contracts with the Ministry of Defense rather than with Wagner. But 25,000 of them, 50,000 of them, all that is hardly clear. Putin did not name Prigozhin among them, and earlier in the day an audio recording said to have been made by Prigozhin was released, and he spoke in similar language that the Kremlin picked up, and he says he turned back to avoid bloodshed. But we do not have final information on the whereabouts of Prigozhin. We do know that he has been saying what the Kremlin would have liked very much to hear. Under what circumstances, we don't know. Putin praised the unity of Russian society as somehow the final savior, and this was after we saw that Prigozhin's soldiers were supported visibly and on the streets by many civilians through that short-lived march towards Moscow. We saw very little outpouring of any anger against them for challenging some beloved Putin. Putin says Russian society has now consolidated. There clearly is no Prigozhin or Prigozhin-like figure now to speak openly against Putin or his chosen generals and ministers, but for consolidated, we can safely read controlled. And Defense Minister Shoigu, well, this was the one who Prigozhin long targeted, was shown on Monday morning going about his job. He appears to be in place despite Prigozhin's campaign against him. The challenger has fallen in line or been made to fall in line, and in a shaky sort of way, Putin stays for now.